This is probably going to be a fairly boring video, but that hasn't stopped me making videos before. So I have this J1900N micro mini my ability to talk has completely disappeared. You have ATX, you have micro ATX, you have mini ITX. So this mini ITX board used to live in a cardboard box, and it was paired with this neat little SFX power supply, this little FSP 80 plus bronze 300 watt power supply, and this is quite cute, quite neat. Not the fan does have a little bit of a ticking sort of sound, but I've got this Acer case that's kind of cute, kind of neat, and has this 220 watt power supply, and this uses probably about 15 watts, so there's no point me having a 300 watt power supply with it. I can just put it with this, and then I've got a use for this case, and this can live in a case rather than a cardboard box. And I use this board for testing memory. It's a quad-core processor, so you know I could be using it for other things as well. This board's got two SATA, got a PCI slot, 24-pin power. Then it's got USB 3, HDMI out, VGA out, USB network, etc. And a few extra USB connections. Guessing this is audio. Just seeing what else we've got. We've got a debug port. Front panel. On a COM port. It's got two BIOSes, M BIOS and B BIOS. So it's one of the Gigabyte boards with the BIOS backup. And then we've got a CPU fan connector, although this doesn't actually need a fan on it. So yeah, the plan is to put it in here. The problem we've got is that this power supply is designed for a specific board where the it would plug in here. So this, of course, has a different position for the power connector. And this will be easier if I actually put it down. It's got those mounts that actually slot into the motherboard, so it kind of holds it in place. So I've got the motherboard screwed in, and this lead almost reaches, but there's some extra cable available down here so that I can hopefully make this reach. This is probably the least interesting thing you've ever watched. Untangling a cable and it taking a strangely long time. Okay. So we made it. That will reach there. Clicks into place, and then this is the problem. This has only got two SATA connections for power, but this won't reach there. So these extra 4 pins, you've got red, black, orange and yellow, and you have those on this 20 pin section. So I've got an extension lead, but this is actually converting 24 pins to 20. So we can connect this here. Let me get that section. And that takes it down to 20, so I could just plug this in and see if this works with 20 pins. It probably would. Systems that I've used in the past like this have worked with just 20 pins, but I also have this, which takes a 20 pin power connection and turns it into 24 pins. So like I was saying, these extra 4 here are just repetition of yellow, red, black and orange. As you can see, orange is coming from over here. So I think that's what this one is doing as well. And then, in fact, I'll probably have a cable that is too long now and is going to get in the way. Okay, so there you go. I mean, this is not the best solution. I could probably get an extension lead that is just a normal 24 pin, 24. But I'll just try this, see if it works. I need to connect up the power switch for the front panel. It looks like this is all in one. I think that is where it goes to the switch and the light. So that's all the way down here, and of course this doesn't reach because this is expecting this to be up here somewhere. So for this system I'm just going to have to short this. Let's connect up the power. So I'm going to plug the power in. I think it's switched on. The fan here has kicked in. Yep, there we go. It's switched on onto the screen. I've not got anything bootable in here. I've got no SSDs, etc. So it does work, this adapter. Should we see if it works with just the 20 pin connection? This is really stiff. Let's try that again. And yeah, that's popped up. So it does work with just 20 pins. It's, you know, these extra ones are duplicates. So that's kind of neater to just have this one cable in there. And apart from the fact that I can't wire up the on-off switch, I do have some USB connections. So that I could have some front panel USB. So there's 2 USB. In fact, there's 3 USB. There's audio. So doesn't seem to be labeled. So one of these will be audio. Yeah, you can tell the difference because USB has the gap there and audio the gap here. So there we go, pretty dull video. I put a motherboard in a case and we work out if this accepts 20 pin connections. It does, and I just need to connect these up and maybe connect up some drive with an operating system on. Let's just do that. I've connected up a drive, I've connected up the USB connections and the audio connection, and if you can see the bit in the background, it's using about 19 watts at the moment. So this could be a useful machine for backing up data or cloning drives, for example, or even just wiping drives, because it uses so little power that you could just leave it on while it's doing something that takes a lot of time. It's using about 22 watts at the moment. So yeah, that's quite a lot less power than most desktop PCs. So there we go, it's booting from this. I have it in a little case now, and it does have a bracket for an optical drive, but yeah, that uses up quite a lot of space for another drive there. But yeah, this is quite useful. I use it for testing memory, and I could use it for, you know, quickly checking drives or wiping drives that connect through SATA. There is another power connection here. It's using 22 watts, 220 watt power supply, using about 10% of its rated capacity. So there we go, we've got the temperatures. This drive has got core temp on. I've not even connected a keyboard and mouse to this. Let's try this front USB socket. So I've got a mouse, and there we have the temperatures, 40 degrees maximum. So yeah, useful little machine. This was really cheap. I think it was about £15 on eBay. Sometimes it's useful just having a little low power machine that you can use for random things. Do you have any old machines lying around that you use for specific things? Let me know in the comments. I especially like the idea of low power. It's using 16 watts at the moment, because yeah, electricity costs money, etc, etc. So there we go. Thanks for watching. See you in another video. Bye.